It's the matchups for all of week 3, Thursday, Sunday, Monday, any game you want to pick. What are the matchups you're looking for, Chris?
Well, I'm going to go to one that we haven't hit on yet that I think, is kind of sneaky good. And I know this is not against each other, but we're all going to talk about it like that, is Wentz versus Hurts. Washington, just that combination. What's Wentz going to look like against his old team? And really, added to that, the downfall of Wentz is when they drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round. That just gave everybody in Philadelphia, as soon as Wentz played good, hey, let's play him, let's do that. So, I just the intrigue around that. Wentz has been playing pretty good. They got a good passing offense. We know Hurts and the Eagles are good too. So I'm just excited, I guess, to see the showdown of the quarterbacks there and how that kind of goes and how we all talk about it after.
I was tempted to go Josh Allen versus Tua Tagovailoa because it's quarterback showdown and maybe there's something there. Maybe it's the beginning of a new rivalry. I got to go Tua versus the Bills defensive line, though, because remember last year, it was early in the season, Bills and Dolphins. Tua got hit hard. He had the rib injury. They're not broken. They are broken. And they didn't have Von Miller last year. We were talking earlier about how the Rams don't have him against Kyler Murray. Well, now the Bills do have him against Tua Tagovailoa, and I think how Tua deals with that pass rush is going to be critical, making decisions quickly, getting rid of the ball, not getting hit, because we saw last year the Bills derailed the early part of his season when they got together, I think, in week 2.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's where it is. It's where it's interesting, too, because I've broken this down pretty hard. The Bills, because they're good on the D line now, and they're really legit up there, they don't have to do quite as much blitzing or, Edmonds and Matt Milano up at the line of scrimmage in a gap because we got to help our guys get a little advantage. They can just go back and play football and attack the ball that way, too. They're much more dangerous on that side of the ball that I think gives them a better chance to maybe contain some of this stuff. So we'll see how that goes. It's, like we talked about earlier, I think it's the game of the week and for my money. I'm going to go back to like the San Francisco, our game on Sunday night, Shanahan, Denver, more like Shanahan versus Ed Donatel. I guess that's where, I always get this mixed up because he used to be in Denver.
Yeah,
EJ
Donatel's
Evero.
not there.
I know. EJ
Yes.
Evero. Excuse me. I know. Because Ed at one point was there. They're all from the Fangio tree, and I get them mixed up in my brain for whatever. EJ Evero. Broncos defense has been pretty damn good. They have, but they haven't played an offense like this yet. It's been Geno Smith and Davis Mills they've had to deal with. And like we talked about with Shanahan, his X's and O's, all the things they make you think about, right? Can they make the proper adjustments and deal with all the stuff? And then, it's not the Trey Lance offense. You got to go back to last year and watch Jimmy G and all that. That's something I'm extremely interested to see.
You mentioned Hurts with your first pick, and originally Ed Donatel with your second pick inadvertently. We saw Hurts carve up Ed Donatel's current defense in Minnesota. I'm going to see what Jared Goff does against that Vikings defense, because it was just about 4 years ago to the day that the Vikings went to Los Angeles and Goff destroyed them, dismantled them. And again, it's a different look now. It's different personnel. Anthony Barr's not there to try to cover receivers and running backs when he shouldn't be.
Remember that? Yeah.
But Jared Goff, it felt like he was always a short-term answer for the Lions, but maybe he can give them
doors
what
cracked.
they need. Maybe there's a little bit of a rebirth for him, and this is an opportunity to stick it to the Vikings. And that series has become barn burnerville. Great game last year in Minnesota, great game in Detroit. Maybe we'll get a great game on Sunday. All right, we'll take a break. Round 3 of the Week 3 matchup draft when PFT Live, presented by Google Pixel, continues right after this. Last round of the matchup draft for Week 3 of the 2022 NFL regular season. Chris, what do you got?
Gosh, that Jaguars D-line versus Chargers O-line's intriguing. Lamar versus Belichick's intriguing. But we kind of hit on those, so I just want to give a little curveball. And feel free to hit those if you want. But how about the Andy Reid Bieniemy versus Gus Bradley with the Colts? Because Gus Bradley, where did he come from? The Raiders, right? The Raiders are one of the first teams that kind of gave the Kansas City offense problems, right? Gus Bradley might have figured something out. Well, the Chiefs figured something out, and they absolutely tore apart that defense last year. And, that defense, Gus Bradley, he's the inventor of the Seattle scheme, right? They don't change a whole lot, and I just want to go, if they don't change a whole lot, they're going to be in big trouble. Because last year they scored over 40 points in both games, and Mahomes looked like unstoppable. So that's where I want to see if the Colts want to win a game here. I do think they got to adjust the way Gus Bradley has played against Kansas City.
Yeah, and look, I think that they got far bigger issues with that offense in Indianapolis. We talked about Matt Ryan earlier. Is it possible that he has just lost it?
Yeah.
Is it just over? Is it done? Is he reached a point where he no longer has it in him physically to get it done? I can go a lot of different directions here, and I don't like to repeat things we've already discussed, but I am fascinated by what Kyler Murray does against the Rams defense, Aaron Donald and company, because he was so ordinary last year. It was so glaring. We were kind of surprised the Cardinals were willing to make the huge financial commitment, because the last thing we saw from Kyler Murray was his worst game ever at any level of football. So this is kind of a chance for him to exercise some demons, to right the ship again, and we saw it. And Cliff Kingsbury suddenly had this realization, Chris, I just let Kyler Murray do what he does best and get out of the way.
Yeah.
With great players like that, with rare special talents like that, that's all a coach can do, is just say, go do your thing. And the more the Cardinals do that, the better off they're going to be.
Right. And play to the strength of your team, to your point, and play to where your money is on your team, where it's all over there. So I'm with you. And, you discussed it. The Rams' defense hasn't looked the same. There is no Von Miller. Will they be able to contain him? This will be a big one. But I'm with you there. There's some good games this weekend. It's going to be a fun one, that's for sure.
Really good games for Week 3. And coming up later today, the Joint Mega Picks podcast, in which Chris and I will pick every single game and hopefully get more than a few right this time. We'll see you later. Everybody have a great Thursday.
See ya.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.